Okay, so this is the final video, so well done if you have made it this far. So question 16, solving by factorisation. That means you have to put it into brackets. If it says that word factorisation, it must go into brackets. If you use the formula by mistake, as far as I'm aware, I think you get 1 mark for your answers, but this is obviously a 3-mark question. So it is about making sure that you have got those brackets as well. So we would do 3 times 20 is 60. So I want numbers that multiply to get 60 that I can make 11 from. So it's going to be to do with 15 and 4, just to speed up this video a little bit. 15 take away 4 is 11. So at the start of your brackets, you put 3x and 3x because it's just whatever is there without the squared. And then I'm going to put in plus 15 and minus 4. So this means I need to divide this one by 3 to make it x plus 5, and then this one will stay the same. So that's going to be 2 marks out of 3 really for getting that far. That's what you need to be showing. It's not enough to leave it like that, you must simplify it as well. And then you need to write down your values of x. So this one is where you just flip the sign, so x would be minus 5. This one would normally be x equals 4, but actually it's 3x that equals 4, and then you divide by the number in front, so 4 over 3. So it should be minus 5 and then 4 over 3. Right, 17 is the other topic that we haven't really done a lot of. I'm going to do it in the revision on Monday, so I know it's supposed to be revision, but seeing you have got this coming up, it makes sense to do a little bit of time on graph shapes in the revision on Monday. So it is a good idea to try and make sure you attend the Monday after school revision. I will definitely do some graph shape work. So we've got y equals 1 over x. So y equals 1 over x looks like that. I am just going to quickly run through these in case anyone wasn't here when we did the walk and talk exam. So cos x looks like this, and it goes between 1 and minus 1. The main thing to note is that it starts on 1. Whereas if I pick sin x, that starts on 0 like that and goes like that. Now I have got quite a good way to remember that, but I'll do that in revision on Monday. Y equals x squared looks like that. We mentioned that earlier on the last video. Y equals a half to the x. I'm not going to do right now. I'll do this on Monday, but I don't really want to do it right now. 2 to the power of x looks like that, where it goes through 1. Sin x I've done. This one again I'm not going to do right now. I suppose it just goes the other way, like that. Y equals tan x I'm not going to do right now. This one is a cubic one, and it looks like that. And then that one again I'm not going to do right now. I will go over some of these, but some of them are more complicated. I'd rather do it when I'm with you in person. So this one here is going to be the y equals 1 over x. This one here is starting at 0, so that is sin x, so y equals sin x. And then this one here is going to be the y equals 2 to the power of x. Right, question 18. So the area of the triangle. So with this one, again, how many marks is this? 6 marks. You get so many of these big mark questions. So again, you've got to think, well, what is the formula for the area of a triangle? So you've either got half the base times the height, but we don't actually know the perpendicular height of that triangle. So the other one is the half AB sine C. So again, things are going to probably get a bit desperate in the exam where you're just thinking, oh, I don't know, and you're trying to pick up marks. So we know that A and B are your lengths. C has to be an angle. If you can't think of a way to work out an angle, then please just make one up. So say that is 40, for example, and then do a half times 5.8 times 6.4 times sine 40. So at least you get 1 mark for doing that. It's better than nothing. And sometimes it is just that 1 mark that makes the difference of the actual grade. So although it doesn't seem a lot, it does sometimes make that difference. How would you actually work out an angle? Well, that is cosine rule, because of the fact there's no right angle here. That is opposite an angle. Say if we're trying to work out this one, So you might have one pair there, but then we don't know the other angle, we don't know the other angle. So it is the cosine rule. Now, in your next exam, it could be cosine rule, it could be sine rule. So you need to make sure that you are good on both of those. I'm not going to tell you which one it is because I want it to be a fair exam. And actually, in all honesty, I can't remember. So the cosine rule for an angle is cos A equals b squared plus c squared minus a squared over 2bc. A must be the angle that you're trying to find, so I'm going to label that the A, which means that's the little a, and then these are the B and C. It can be any way round for B and C. So substituting this in, and I think I've done it a different way to the one in class. I think in class we found this angle, and that's the point. It doesn't matter which angle you're finding as long as you follow the rule correctly. So it's going to be 5.8 squared plus 3.9 squared minus 6.4 squared over 2 times b times c. So 2 times 5.8 times 3.9. So, sorry, I'm going to pause the video actually while I work that out. Hang on. Okay, so you can see hopefully my answer there on the calculator, which is really small. And that is because I have found cos A and not A. So I need to do cos to the minus 1 of my answer. So shift cos answer. So that gives me then 79.9, and I'm going to write the whole thing down because I've not yet finished. So now I know that angle up here is 79.9560. Now before I put it into here, just make sure that you use the two sides either side of the angle. So if you have found this one, you would need to use the 5.8 and the 6.4. If you found this one, you would need to use the 3.9 and the 6.4. So it's just making sure you've got the two sides making that sandwich around the angle. So on my one, it's going to be 1/2 times 5.8 times 3.9 times, and it's going to be sine of the angle. So I was going to put answer there to save writing it all out. So on mine, because I don't really want to write that all again, I'm going to write sine answer first, so sine of my answer, and then times it by this because it doesn't matter which way around I do it. Times 1/2, so 0.5. So that is then 11.14. Does it say how to round it? No. So 11.14 would be fine. 2 more questions to go. So question 19 is quadratic sequences. So the first thing is to work out your differences. So it goes 9. 9 to 22 is 13. And then 22 to 39 is 17. So second differences are 4 and 4. So divide that by 2 and put it in front of n squared. So that would be 2n squared. Then you want to put in n equals 1, 2 and 3. So you square it, times by 2. 1 squared times by 2. 1 squared is 1, times by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4, times by 2 is 8. 3 squared is 9, times by 2 is 18. So then how do I get from 2 to 0? I need to minus 2. 8 to 9, I need to add 1. 18 to 22, I need to add 4. So this makes a new sequence. So we've got to say, what is it going up in? Well, it's going up in 3s, so 3n. And then what would come here? Minus 5. So putting that together, you get 2n squared plus 3n minus 5. So your values then would be A is 2, B is 3, and C is minus 5. Final question. It's a good one, 6 marks. So again, realistically, no, I don't know that everyone in the whole class is going to get 6 marks for this question, but hopefully we've done enough of this in class just to get started on it, and again, pick up some marks to help you get the grades that you are trying to get. So if we put in the picnic table like that, so hopefully you should be able to spot that these algebraic fractions need the picnic table. So the bottom of the fraction is these two times together in brackets. So x plus 2, x minus 3. Now you need to do 5 times x minus 3. So that's going to be 5x minus 15. And then I'm going to do x plus 2 times 3. So that's going to be 3x plus 6, and that all equals 2. So if that's all you did, that's a nice 1 mark there. It's better than nothing. Simplify the top bit. So you've got 8x minus 15 plus 6 is minus 9. And then to solve this, I want to get rid of this fraction. So I need to times by what is on the bottom of the fraction. So that's going to give me just the top bit on the left-hand side. And I need to do 2 lots of all of this. So I'm just going to write it all next to each other like this. So this side stays as 8x minus 9, not much I can do with that. This side, I'm going to leave the 2 outside and just basically expand these double brackets. So you would get x squared, then you're going to get minus 3x plus 2x. So minus 3x plus 2x is minus x, and 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. So the 2 in front just means I need to multiply all of that by 2. So you get 2x squared minus 2x and then minus 12. So something like this, it's quadratic. You want to make it equal 0. So if I take away the 8x, that's going to make minus 10x. And then I'm going to add the 9. So then minus 12 plus 9 is minus 3. Checking the question, the fact it's saying, the fact it's saying correct to 1 decimal place tells me this is not going to factorise. If it was going to factorise, you wouldn't have decimal places in your answer, or there'd be no need to say to round it. So therefore, this is the quadratic formula, which will be in your paper as well. So it's minus boy, so the negative boy couldn't decide, so plus or minus, whether he wants to go to the house party. He was square, he missed out on 4 awesome chicks, and then the party was all over at 2 a.m. So putting these numbers in, we've got A equals 2, we've got B equals minus 10, C equals minus 3. There are loads of negatives in this for this to go horribly wrong. So minus B, minus 10, let's just write that as 10. We can't put plus or minus in the calculator, so let's just do plus to begin with. B squared has to go in a bracket when it is negative, so it would be minus 10 in brackets squared. It will not work if you just type it in like that. Just trust me on that, it will not work. Or it will give you the wrong answer. Minus 4 times A times C, so 4 times 2. The trick is, if you're not sure whether to put a negative in a bracket, just stick it in a bracket. You can't go wrong with brackets. Divided by 2A. So that is what you should be typing in on your calculator, exactly how that looks. So I'll pause the video while I work it out. Okay, so you should get, for that answer, 5.283. Now it's to 1 decimal place, so 5.3. And then again, what we're going to do now is work out the same thing, but change it this time to a minus there. So again, I'll pause it while I get my answer. And then when you do it with the minus, you should get this answer here. So to 1 decimal place, that is going to be minus 0.6. You need to make sure you are really confident on that quadratic formula. If you are not, I've put a website suggestion on Show My Homework called Maths Genie, and that has lots of practice questions on all the topics, but definitely including the quadratic formula. So just make sure you have a practice of it so that you are confident on it.